Step-by-step exam solutions. Okay, math class, training you to excel. Subscribe. Give a thumbs up. Share with friends. Click the notification button so that you receive the next presentation. Step-by-step exam solutions. Okay, math class, present step exam success. Step 1, plan. Step 2, pray. Step 3, prepare. Step 4, preview. Step 5, perform. Okay, math class, step-by-step exam solution, graphs of trigonometric function. In this presentation, we'll be going through a series of graphs. Number 1, we're going through linear functions, quadratic functions. We are now in graph number 3, trigonometric functions. Our objectives are: 1, obtain or complete a given table of values. 2, choose a reasonable uniform scale. 3, correctly plot the coordinate points. 4, answer questions based on the graph correctly. Copy and complete the table of values for y is equal to sin s plus 2 cos s. Correct to 1 decimal places. B. Using a scale of 2 cm to 30 degrees on the x-axis and 2 cm to 1 unit on the y-axis, draw the graph of y is equal to sin s plus 2 cos x for values of s from 0 to 240. C. Use your graph to solve the equations. 1. Sin s plus 2 cos s is equal to 0. 2. Sin s is equal to 2.1 minus 2 cos x. D. From your graph, find y when s is equal to 171 degrees. We are going to complete the table of values. So when x is equal to 0, we are going to replace x with 0 and replace x here with 0. And then we are going to simplify. Sin 0 is 0. Cos 0 is 1. Then we are going to simplify further. That will give us 2. When x is 60, we are going to replace x with 60 here and replace this x with 60. We are going to simplify. Sin 60 is 0.87. Then cos 60 is 0.5. And then on simplification, that will give us 1. Then y is equal to 1.87, which is approximated to 1.9, correct to 1 decimal place. Please subscribe. Then we are going to repeat the same process from when x is equal to 90 degrees. We replace this with 90, we replace this with 90. Then we are going to simplify. Sin 90 we know is 1. Cos 90 we know is 0, so that will give us a 2 times 0, which on simplification will give us 0. Then y will give us a 1. Then we are going to find the value of y when s is equal to 120 degrees. Replace this with 120, this with 120. Then on simplification, this will give us 0.87. This will give us minus 0.5. Simplifying further, that will give us minus 1. Y then will give us a minus 0.13, which to 1 decimal place is minus 0.1. Then we are going to repeat get the value of y for the last one. When x is 210, so we replace this and then replace this also. Then we're now going to simplify as we have been doing before, and then we're now going to get the value of y as minus 2.24, which we can write as minus 2.2 to 1 decimal place. We are going to go straight to the graph board to plot the graph now. Now this is the graph board, and this is the table of value already imported. So we are now going to choose our scale. Remember our scale, 2 centimeters is equal to 30 degrees on the x-axis. Every 2 centimeters is 30. Every 2 centimeters is 30, and then you get to 240. On the y-axis, every 2 centimeters is 1. Every 2 centimeters is 1. And looking at this further, each small square on the y-axis is 0.1. Why each small square is equal to 3 on the x-axis. You have 10 squares, 30 divided by 10, so each is 3. So using that, we are going to do the plotting. When x is 0, y is 2. X is 0 here, y should be 2 at this point. Then when x is 30, y is 2.2. This is 30 degrees. 2.2 should be 2 small squares above 2. So that would be this point. Then 60 is 1.9. 60 is 1.9. This is 2. One small square down will give us 1.9. Then 120 is minus 0.1. Then before then 90 is 1. So 90 here we have 1 at this point. We plot it at that point. Then 120 minus 0.1. That will be at this point. Then 150 minus 1.2. This is minus 1. 2 small squares below that will be minus 1.2. Then 180 is 2. 180 you have 2 at this point. Then 210 is minus 2.2. This is 2. And then 2 more squares give us minus 2.2. Then 240 is minus 1.9. This is 2. Minus 1.9 will be at this point. Now I've done the plotting. We're now going to join these points with a smooth curve. Let's do that now. The blue line represents the curve for the function y is equal to sine s plus 2 cos s is equal to 0. Now we're now going to answer the questions based on the graph. Use your graphs to solve the equation. Sine s plus 2 cos s is equal to 0. Now you can agree with me, that is where the blue line, the curve, cross the x-axis at this point. So you can see the arrow is showing us the point. Now what is the value of that point? That will give us a 118.5 degrees. So the root of this equation is equal to x is equal to 118.5 degrees. Then we are now going to answer the next question. The next question says sine x is equal to 2.1 minus 2 cos x. This new equation must be related to the original function we have plotted the graph. So now let's simplify this and see what that will give us. So now we're going to simplify. Making sine x equal to 2.1 minus 2 cos x. Now we're now going to take minus 2 cos x to the left-hand side. Doing that, we have sine s plus 2 cos x is equal to 2.1. That tells us that y is equal to 2.1. And therefore, to answer this question now, we are going to look for the point where y is equal to 2.1. Y is 2 at this point. Y is 2.2 at this point. So we draw a horizontal line, the broken line. And that crosses the blue curve at this point and also at this point. So now we're going to look for the value. So we're going to find the value of x at this point. And to do that, we're going to drop the value is 9 degrees. You drop it down to this point, you are going to have is 9 degrees. So now we're going to repeat the same process at this point too. Now we're going to have the value here, you can see is 45 degrees. When you follow it down to this x-axis, that's 45 degrees. So therefore, the value of that, the solution to that equation are x is equal to 9 degrees and x is equal to 45 degrees. Then we're now going to answer the next question. The next question says, from your graph, find y when x is equal to 117 degrees. Now we look for where x is equal to 117. That's at this point. If you look at this, is 150, and then add 15 to 150, that is 165. Then if you add 3 to that, and then you are going to have 171 at this point. So we're now going to drop a vertical line to the curve, and from the curve we'll move to the y-axis to get our value. So now we'll move to the y-axis. What is the value of y at this point? If you look at that, so this is minus 2. Remove 2 squared from that, that's minus 1.8 degrees. So the value of y at that point is minus 1.8 degrees. That brings us to the end of this presentation. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe. Thank you very much.